the issue of the rapture. What's it going to be like? How is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Can we ascertain from Scripture that the rapture of the church will come before the tribulation period? Well, I'm glad you asked, but these are evidences that the rapture must precede the tribulation. I certainly don't have enough time here to go through all of these. Daniel's 70th week in Daniel 9:24 through 27 demands that the church age fit between verse 26 and 27. Secondly, Jesus' outline in Matthew 24. He gives us a very clear outline. Then they will deliver you to tribulation. Then there will be great tribulation. Then you'll see the sign of the Son of Man coming. No reference to the church there. The format of the book of Revelation. In the first 3 chapters of Revelation, the church is mentioned 19 times. In chapter 4 and 5, we see the church in heaven. How do we know it's the church? Because they're all singing a song, and they're saying, "You made us to be kings and priests." What believers from what age are referred to in the Bible as kings and priests? Only church-age believers. Then from chapter 6 to chapter 19, there is no reference to the church. Just take the outline the way John wrote it. It tells us that the church cannot be in the tribulation. Point 4, we just saw Paul's distinction between 2 days, the day of Christ and the day of the Lord. Point 5, the comfort to the Thessalonians. This is coming up tomorrow in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. The church as a mystery that demands that the mystery be removed before the age of Israel resumes. Paul's prophecy of Israel's restoration in Romans 11:25 says that hardening in part has happened to Israel until, that's a time limitation. Until what? The fullness of the Gentiles comes in. What is that? That's the rapture of the church. Jesus quotes Isaiah 61 in Luke 4:8-19, and he stops in the middle of a sentence. Why? Because that's where the church age begins, and he wasn't ready to get into that. Everything's done for a reason. Jesus promised in John 14 and verse 3, "I am coming again to receive you to myself." That's speaking of the rapture of the church. And 10th, the mystery of the resurrection of the church age in 1 Corinthians 15 very clearly tells us that we are going to be raptured before the tribulation period.